One of the most common misunderstanding about cybersecurity with regards to executives is that executives think that cybersecurity is an IT problem, whereas in reality, it is a business and management issue. When the breaches happen, everybody is blaming everybody else in the organization, and there is no delegation of responsibility. So it is very important that a company should have a CISO, and in case if it's a small sized company which cannot afford CISOs because they're very expensive, they could go with something that is known as vCISO. So we at Citadel, we offer vCISO services. So transparency is the key, and the key to a successful cybersecurity posture and model in your company. One of the main issues that we see when we are assessing the security posture of the organization, and this is something that we flag as risk, is the fact that we have a head of cybersecurity who is reporting to the CTO. Of course, that is a conflict of interest. If you want to ensure security in a company, and if you want to ensure that security is going to be treated as priority and would be integrated into all business processes, you would want the head of cybersecurity or the CISO to be able to report to the board or to the CEO. Now that way, of course, a lot of things that are being put under carpet, come to limelight. That way you could ensure the transparency across the system, and all in all, you could achieve a better cybersecurity posture. The benefits of working with external companies are pretty clear. There are many regulations that demand companies to do an external pen test. For instance, if you look at PCI DSS, it demands the companies to do external pen tests once every year. And more regulations are coming along the same lines. Why they are doing that is because of the conflict of interest. If you are a company and the sole purpose is to protect your business, and in the process of doing that, you would like to avoid regulatory fines and everything along those lines. And of course, we have seen scenarios whereby a lot of these small issues that have came from these internal audit reports have been put under carpet. Now, when a breach happens and when we do a post-breach analysis, then we find out that these issues were previously, discussed, but they were put under the carpet due to the fact that the head of security or the CTO or the person that is managing security in the organization does not want to look bad in front of the senior management and the CEOs. And therefore, there is a need of an external partner that would help you. And in case if you want to present your report to the regulator encourage you to do an external third-party report. There are aspects of enterprise-wide cybersecurity risk management programs that need to be driven by the senior management and executives. And executives are responsible for fostering the cybersecurity culture into the company. Now, this is a gap that needs to be bridged. There has to be training for board members and senior executives so that they are able to comprehend the risks that are going to affect their organization, and therefore they could take informed strategic decisions on basis of that. One of the key concepts that they need to understand is the fact that digital transformation can make their businesses more secure and can lead to a better accountability only if cybersecurity is included in every business process. The other thing that senior executives need to understand is that in any board management discussion, they should talk about enterprise-wide risks, and they should talk about risks that need to accept, risks that they need to transfer to the insurance, and the risks that need to be mitigated. If you have a proper cybersecurity program implemented in your company, this would mean that your business is more resilient to cyber attacks. Now, this would lead to greater customer trust in your products, because what we have seen is that companies that have suffered the reputational damage has been more than the financial damage. If you look at an example of Facebook has been compromised multiple times. Facebook's platform was used to meddle with the US elections 2016, whereby we had seen Cambridge Analytica getting hold of around 87 million people and their personal data, and of course creating a psychometric profile which they would use to micro-target and micro-segment the audience and then target them based upon their behaviors. And of course, Facebook has lost customer confidence. But overall, to put things into the perspective, if your business is more resilient to cyber attacks, that would mean that in case of adverse circumstances, it would continue to function. And what this would lead to is to greater customer confidence.